The records are now open. And hello, replay viewers. It's just you and me right now. While our live listeners join, I want to let you know, whether you are here live or on the replay, your soul has brought you into this space for a reason. So I want to thank the higher intelligence that has brought you here today. Let me share what's going to happen here in this most sacred space. This is Akashic Answers with Emily, where I have opened the Akashic Records. And in this space here, this frequency of the Akashic Records, together today, we are going to experience some channeling, some insight that comes in from the records based on your questions. You are such an important part of this show, this experience, because it's your questions that invite forward the knowledge or the intelligence that will come through today. So we're all going to get to experience some God conscious intelligence, super conscious intelligence. The realm of the Akashic Records holds all information, past, present, all potential futures, from a neutral perspective, a perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment. So as we let go of our perspective, our polarity, our traumas, how we've experienced ourselves and our lives, we get to tap into this higher source of information and intelligence. That's what we will get to experience here today, in addition to live activations, transmissions coming through from the space of your Akashic Records. So I want to also share with you how to get the most out of this experience, okay? We're gonna hang out for 30 minutes. Stay for the entire broadcast. Trust that your soul has brought you here. There is a cumulative effect to the energy, and there is something specific that needs to drop in for you today, okay? Well, I'll say this. There's one of two reasons you're here. You're missing a piece of information that your soul has brought you into this space so that you can take a look at things from a new perspective. You can get new thoughts, new ideas. And it might be one of these new ideas that ping something else later on as you go throughout the week that allows you to look at your life differently and to find unseen solutions to your challenges, okay? That might be one reason you're here. Another reason, and I'm finding this is happening more and more, is to prepare you for some situation this week where previously you might have been triggered. You might have fallen back into an old pattern or an old frequency that does not represent the truth of who you are or the higher timeline that you are creating for yourself right now. We're all creators here in this space. And in order to create or manifest that which we desire to experience, we must vibrate in coherence to that timeline. And if you're trapped in your shit and your old triggers, you fall out of frequency with that timeline. So you might be here for preparation. You might be here to gain some kind of a perspective or intelligence that's going to help you keep your cool later on this week. Hit some love-like hearts across the screen if this is resonating with you. I'm so happy you're here. Okay, so to get the most, stay for the whole thing. There's a reason you're here. There's a cumulative effect as you stay. Second of all, interact with each other. Let's start the interaction now. Please share with me where you are tuning in from. The first activation starts now, and I invite you to, as you're seeing these comments come across the screen, imagine these pinpoints of light all across the grid of our planet illuminating, connecting with each other, wrapping our planet in this blanket of consciousness. Okay, the activation's already starting. This also is expanding your ability to see beyond what is obvious. Super important skill. So when you begin to see beyond the obvious, you and I sitting here together, and you begin to imagine the totality, the bigger picture, you're going to be able to use that up level of vision in other places of your life. Okay? So interact. Ask your questions. Even if I don't get to your questions in this space, there is spiritual technology in place here. There is an intention set that when you ask the questions, the answer will be revealed to you in some form or fashion. Okay? The third way to get the most out of this space is to try things on. See if you can allow yourself to be in a state of non-resistance while you're here. And if you notice you're in a state of resistance, like, oh, I don't know about that one. That doesn't really ring true to me. Nope, that's not me. Just breathe into it and allow yourself to take what feels really potent and practice allowing the rest of it to pass through you without resistance. Okay? All right, so let's get some questions rolling in here. While you all are typing in your questions, I want to talk a little bit more about spiritual technology. I talked about the Akashic Records being this quantum technology that allows us to shift our perspective from the limitations of showing up in the human form. I am not limited, Emily. I'm an unlimited being. Ooh, that's your resistance. Yes, to tap into our unlimited nature. However, we have to shift our consciousness into a higher frequency and bring that consciousness back down into this piece of spiritual technology, the human form, which is one of the most dynamic, powerful pieces of technology in the galaxy. So when we learn how to use this technology through our breath, through our imagination, we can shift our consciousness out of this time-space reality and tap into that unlimited nature and bring that energy back into our existence. Spiritual technology, I want you to think about this for a minute. How do we even make spiritual technology? There are some spiritual technologies that already exist here. We've got the Akashic Records, we've got our amazing body, but how do we make technology? I was thinking about this and thinking about Steve Jobs, and because he crafted a piece of technology that probably 99% of us are using to connect right now, or some form of, modern day cell phones and laptops. But it really comes down to two things: understanding the nature of energy and then understanding the patterns of how these energy works, and we begin to create it. When you understand the nature of something and then the patterns and how you can plug the nature of whatever you're using into particular patterns, we get to create technology. And I'm sharing this because I'm so excited. At the Akashic Academy, I work with a team of the most potent quantum innovators on the planet. We're always innovating new technology. I like to work with the most radical forms of technology that exist because I like impact and transformation yesterday, people. Okay? I like to experience the power when we tap into these radical forms of transformation. So I like to use really potent technology. And there is a technology that we are going to be opening for those of you who want to get super clear about your soul purpose. And you want to jump into that timeline of where you are living out and embodying your soul purpose. You want to jump into this timeline. It exists. If it is in your mind, it is possible for you. So for those of you who want this kind of clarity and ability to step into this timeline where you are in alignment with your soul mission, we are opening a technology that is going to help you do that. So in addition to the Akashic Records, one of the most profound technologies that I have ever encountered is an earth technology, an earth spiritual technology, Mount Shasta. It is the root chakra of the planet. And I have found that going to Mount Shasta and connecting with the energies that are available there has been an integral part of me having rapid expansion and being able to step into my soul purpose and make impact on the planet and personal impact for myself and family so quickly. So through intention and through connection, this August, we are opening up the portals where you can receive that intelligence, opening up the vortex on your end, whatever location you are on the planet, so that you can have a direct stream of access to this quantum power that's coming from the root chakra of our planet. There are going to be 3 specific stages for this activation. Okay. Stage 1 is clearing resistance. Anything or any place where we are gripped by our trauma, our tragedy, our old story that's not serving us. These things block us and block our energy from being able to have clarity on what our soul purpose is. So these things have got to be removed first. These can show up as aches and pains in your body, by the way. Ones that might be so minute that you don't even talk about with other people. But these are your energetic blockages that must be removed for you to receive the fullness of the medicine. So that's stage 1, is the removal of the resistance and anything blocking you. Stage 2 is downloading your soul mission, your soul purpose, what that looks like for you individually. And stage 3 is activating this, enlivening this intelligence, the consciousness of your mission into the soul, the grids, the energy grids. I was going to call them the soul grids. We can call them soul grids. But there are 2 specific sets of grid work that we'll be focusing on. That is the crystalline grid work, the ley lines that exist within the planet, within Mother Earth, and the Christed consciousness grid, the grid that exists around our planet together. So if you are interested in experiencing this next spiritual technology coming to you directly from Mount Shasta and the Akashic Academy, write Shasta in the comments. This is a virtual experience, so my team will reach out to you and share with you more about this. The seating is limited too, by the way. Seating is limited. So if you want to dive into this experience, make sure that you take a look at that. Shasta in the comments. All right. And we are going to now dive into some questions. All right. So I don't have a lot of questions coming here on my end on StreamYard. I want to give you guys a couple tips. This is not a very good tip. There's some place that you can click where you allow StreamYard to connect with you, and then your comments actually show up here where I'm at right now. I know we're broadcasting on several different locations. So give StreamYard access to share your questions and comments. I do have a couple coming in here though. And Stacy Jameson would love to know about would love to know about purpose. Okay, so Stacy, thank you for this. Let's hear it for Stacy, by the way. I feel the guides want to talk generally a bit about soul purpose and then specifically address you, Stacy. Thank you for being brave enough to share your vulnerability and to call in wisdom around your soul purpose. All right, so let me just drop in here. Okay, the first thing that the guides want to illuminate is a difference between soul purpose and soul mission, because there's some nuance here that is important to really understand. And the purpose of our soul is to come here and to create a life of happiness. It's just to be happy, to be in bliss, and to create. We make it way too complicated. We also have a soul mission here on the planet. Soul mission is associated with certain lessons and or legacy, I'm hearing, that our soul wants to accomplish and to leave behind here on the planet. We want to leave it better than we found it. And that's where our mission really comes alive. All right, and my whole body is buzzing. If you guys are feeling this, I feel like the activation for tapping you into your soul mission is already coming alive. And I notice, like, as I close my eyes and tap in, my body begins to move like the vortex here, calling up the energy. The guides are also saying both of these things are really important, purpose and mission, okay? All right, we want to bring in an activation since I talked about soul mission and how to dive in more dynamically with your soul mission and how to get more clear on your soul mission, which is to check out this technology that we're going to open up virtually in Mount Shasta. I want to keep this really directed towards Stacy's comment around purpose and the purpose to be happy. And Stacy, your guides are just inviting you back into this space of happiness. And in particular for you, childlike awe is very important. So the guides are saying that, and this is for everybody, if this is landing for you, by the way, and your name is not Stacy Jameson, then this message is for you too. But the guides are saying, Stacy and a lot of the rest of you, myself included, are seeking magical transformation for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, for the planet. If that is you, say yes. It doesn't matter if you're seeking it for yourself or you're seeking it for the planet, by the way. The macro, the micro are the same. If you have a desire to seek rapid and positive transformation for the planet, magical transformation for yourself or the planet, say yes. So the guides are going to share with you now the activation around how to tap in to a life of magic. And in order to tap into a life of magic, we must be present with childlike awe and wonderment. We must see that in the smallest, most microscopic moments of life, which are truly the biggest. It's why you came here. In order to do that, we've got to slow down. So the guides want to invite you to slow down by training your body to slow down by slowing down your breath. Okay, so we're going to take 3 very deep, slow breaths together. And this is an activation to slow you down so that you can pay attention to the wonderment happening all around you. And the more you pay attention and the more you see and acknowledge this wonderment, the more powerful and the more magical you will become. 3 nice, deep, slow breaths. Deep breath in. Slower. Good. At the top, nice, slow exhale. Notice the resistance that comes up. Oh, this is going to take some time. Notice your instinct to turn the channel. Stick here, stay with it. It's good. You're releasing your resistance. Next deep breath in, slow. Good. Notice the impulses rising within you to speed back up and take control over your time-space reality and stay in this place of slowness with me. Good. This is challenging. Go ahead, take your next nice, slow, deep breath in. This will be the last one. Imagine filling your body with light on this breath. Good, and now nice, slow exhale. Notice what you notice about your internal energy. Maybe it's shifting. You might feel a little dizziness. Excellent. Good job. Nice work. This activation, thank you, Stacy, is again designed to slow you down so that you can notice awe and magic all around you, which will increase your ability to tap into the magic, to create the magic, because your frequency will be vibrating with this level of magic. So as you begin to think about and imagine your life, your legacy, what it is you're here to create, you will be creating much more potent feedback loops with the universe so that you can experience this. Right on. Let's hear some love, likes, and hearts across the screen. Let's hear them. I guess that means tap really loudly on your phones. Awesome. All right, let's grab another question here. Linda Love says, would love to know why my dragon selves keep repeating Shasta. They're saying, come to Shasta. They have been saying Shasta to me since I allowed myself to awaken. I know I have a huge connection and have been to Shasta before in this lifetime. Well, Miss Linda, I'm glad you mentioned Shasta. Okay, so the dragons are definitely very alive in Mount Shasta, bringing many of us to Mount Shasta and also carrying the potent energies from Mount Shasta outward and making them more available in other places across the planet. Here's why Mount Shasta is so important, okay? Because during the time on this planet, truly the very first civilization here on our planet, known as the time of Lemuria. Okay, so the Lemurians were the very first beings here on the planet. And the Lemurians came from a variety of different star systems across our galaxy. Okay, they came here. They found themselves, it's almost like we are adjusted to the gravity here on this planet. If we went to a different planet, our bodies, our systems, the gravity, it's not all designed to hold us in a state of harmony and balance. So they had some adjusting to do so that they could interact with this physical plane. So the Lemurians developed a ceremony, a technology, a spiritual technology, if you will, where they began to physically interact through joy and bliss with the things here on this planet, flowers, fruit, each other. And by doing this, their frequencies harmonized with the physical nature of this planet. So in essence, they slowed down their frequency. Thank you. They slowed down their frequency to become more dense, to have this coherence with the physical planet. Okay? But the fact they were coming, bringing all of this higher level intelligence with them, they were able to create a society that was what's known as 5D in nature, meaning they still had intact their abilities to self-heal, to create at will. The society was very abundant. They worked in their genius. They didn't operate, and I think this is really interesting, and that is they didn't operate going to work to make money, to pay for basically energy that is free. Their society harnessed these technologies and used them, and the way commerce was circulated in the society was you paid someone for their genius and their skill so that everybody was needed in society. So that drove society to cultivate unique genius. A little different than how things are operating today. But we need that back, which is why this intelligence from Lemuria, I didn't make the connection to Shasta yet. Okay, sorry. Back up one second, Emily. So the Lemurians were first, then the Atlanteans came along, and the Lemurians really held the powerful connection to nature, and the Atlanteans came along with that legacy of technology that we talked about and continued to develop spiritual technology. They lived in coherence and harmony for a very long time until they didn't, until technology advanced faster than the nature and the consciousness and the connection to each other. And then ego and power began to manipulate the field. And eventually those civilizations fell, wiped out. Okay? We've done this 4 times. This is like the 5th turning of civilizationatory, yes, I made that word up, wipeout. And we get a chance to do it differently again, which is why it's so important that we're having these conversations, that we're waking up, that we're using our power, that we're shifting the planet. Because most of you have probably lived in the time of Atlantis and Lemuria. So the Lemurians knew that the cataclysm, that this wipeout was going to come about 2,000 Earth years before it actually happened. And the Lemurians began to encode the planet with crystals, sometimes small crystals. You might have heard of Lemurian seed crystals, sometimes big crystals like Mount Shasta. The whole mountain is a giant crystal. Crystals within our bodies as well. The Lemurians began to encode in the crystals the technology and the ways of society, the records, if you will. And you think about a computer chip, the smallest, tiniest computer chip can hold massive amounts of information. Think about what this entire mountain can hold. So when the wipeout happened, the planet first had been encoded with the intelligence, so the intelligence is there. But in addition to that, there were survivors, Lemurian refugees from the cataclysm, who went inward interdimensionally and established a city of light known as Telos, which operates right now inside the mountain. I have had a Telosian follow me through Mount Shasta before. They are real. Okay? And it's the Telosians that we'll be working with when we go into Mount Shasta. I will be taking a team of visionaries in with me in person in August, but you have the opportunity to join us virtually, working with the Telosians and the Akashic Records in Mount Shasta to open up these portals of connection on the surface, to open up this spiritual technology so this flow of energy and these codes and this intelligence can become more accessible to you. So again, if you're just joining the broadcast and you're hearing me talk about this, type Shasta in the comments if you want to know more about this sacred opportunity to join us virtually in August. And now let's tap into an activation around, let's see. I want to do a dragon activation. We're going to tap you into your dragons, okay? I wanted to go back to Linda's original question. The dragons keep calling her, that the dragons keep calling her. So good. The dragons are a powerful, we'll just call them a cosmic race that hold the full embodied energy of oneness, of God consciousness. I want to call forward a dragon for each one of you right now. So palms up in a receptive position. Take a nice deep breath in and imagine clearing your field of any part of you that feels skeptical about calling in intergalactic support when you can't see it, when you're not really familiar, you don't really know. Feels a little woo-woo. Let all of that go and just allow yourself to become in a state. Allow yourself to arrive in a state of complete non-resistance. And imagine calling forward a dragon from the cosmic oneness to help you in a particular area of your life. And the dragons are incredibly powerful for clearing our path. I called them in just yesterday. There were some challenges going on with technology codes and embedding and XYZ that I was so above my head. So grateful that I had a team. But I felt the overwhelm of many technological pieces that felt like they were converging and entangling and bigger than me to solve. So I called in the dragons and then surrendered this to my team, my physical team here. And within a matter of minutes, things that had been stumping us for days had been resolved. So calling forward a dragon right now to work with you on a timely challenge. I want you to be able to see the results in this. I saw results so quickly. So call forward this dragon for a challenge that you're experiencing right now. And give the dragon, this energy, your permission to clear the path making the way ahead easy for you. And so it is. All right, come on back, everybody. Dragon activations. I cannot wait to hear about what your experiences are. If you had an experience with the dragon coming in during that activation, please share in the comments. Otherwise, as you begin to see your pathway cleared, reach out to me, send me a private message, a DM somewhere. Let me know what is moving and shifting in your field. All right, I said we were going to stay here for 30 minutes, and I only got 2 things in. That was amazing. Miss Elventress says, nice to slow down. You did some energy clearing in your sinuses and respiratory system over the full moon. Good. Now you're experiencing some ear pain, teeth, and gums. Okay. That's really coming in connection with those aches and pains, those things that we're feeling, that we're removing so that we can get clarity around our mission. So just confirmation, Miss Van Trest, that you are doing the work. You brought in light around all of those aches and pains, intelligence around all of those aches and pains. So be looking for the release of that too today. Linda said, come back. I creating and connected to technologies in that time with crystals and nature connections. Yes, we are being required to innovate and to create and to call forward all kinds of technology from this point in our history and our remembrance. And it's really about waking up our consciousness and our intelligence to remember. So again, if you want support in that process, if you know it's time, type Shasta in the comments, and we will circle back and make sure you have the information that you need to know if this is the right container for you. It's going to be powerful, guys. Very powerful. For those of you who self-sabotage is still coming up for you, man, if you are really ready to release it, this is going to be the moment where everything changes. I love you all. I can't wait to connect with those of you who are excited about this experience, and I will see you back here again next week. If this has served you, by the way, share this out. The more intelligence we have circulating the planet, the faster we all get to grow and expand and be magical together. All right, I'll see you guys soon.